Hey guys, Keenan here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk about Amazon FBA versus Shopify dropshipping versus social media marketing for local businesses, okay? I've tried them all, so this is my complete honest review. And I'm going to talk about the pros, the cons, the reasoning as to why I think each business model is, either good and or bad, okay? And I'm going to rank them from first, second to third. So I really think you guys will get a ton of value from this, whether you're already into Amazon, Shopify, social media marketing, or you're just on the cusp of deciding which one is a good business model for you. I really dig deep into this, so I really think you'll get some value. So if you do, comment down below which business model you like, which one you're in, all that stuff. Subscribe, hit the dingy bell, like, all that shit. Let's go. Intro.
What the fuck was I saying? Yeah, I'm kind of a slave to my ambition. I ain't quitting till my shit is appraised. And I admit it, I predicted where I finish is crazy.
Alright guys, so in this video, like I said, I'm going to go over Amazon, FBA, Shopify dropshipping, and SMA, some of the biggest business models out there on YouTube and, all of the gurus are talking about, okay? And I've tried them all, so you're going to get, my opinion of what I've tried, what works, the pros and cons of each. And then after this, I'm going to go over, I'm going to rank them from 1, 2 to 3 and give you the reasons why, okay? So first we're going to start with Amazon FBA, okay? Let's start with some of the pros, right? So the pros is it's almost all upfront work. Everything from finding the supplier to finding the product to setting up the listing, getting pictures, optimizing the listing, optimizing PPC. Once you get all that stuff done, guys, you're pretty much chilling. You only have to worry about reorders, okay? So, that's probably the biggest, reason most people get into this is it truly does become, a fairly passive income stream once you start getting, once you get the listings down and optimizing and all that stuff. So another pro is, I guess it's like that, it's a very legit, passive business model, and it's a legitimate business model, right? Like there's people making millions on Amazon, some people who have really gone into this and really focused to, make this a real sustainable business are making millions of dollars, building brands, building products and all that stuff. That's a huge pro to Amazon. And it's, that kind of brings to another pro is, the customer base, customers and free traffic, kind of like YouTube, guys. It's people are on Amazon searching, okay? So as opposed to Shopify, which I'll get to in a minute, people are already coming to you, looking to you. People know and trust Amazon, so you don't have to build that trust, okay? Yeah, you have competition with listings and stuff like that, but you have the trust knowing that it's on Amazon. People are going to trust it a lot more likely because they trust the Amazon brand, okay? So that is huge. Really the only traffic you have to pay for is, Amazon PPC. And you can test out, Facebook ads and even Instagram influencers and stuff like that. I never really had much success with that. I'll even show you my product. This right here is my product, okay? And I'll talk about kind of one of my cons, with this as well, okay? So some of the cons of Amazon FBA. Amazon is 100% in control. Okay, so what do I mean by that? That means that you have to be 100% compliant to Amazon's rules, or they'll just shut your listing down, shut down your account. They don't give a shit. Even if you're spending millions of dollars with them, they don't care. They're a hundreds and hundreds of billion-dollar company. You think they give a shit about $1 million, let alone, the average YouTuber who's promoting this making 10, 20 grand a month or something? They don't give a shit. So if you're doing anything that might, go against their vision, which is 100% customer base, that's how they've gotten so far. Kind of a side note, if you guys haven't if you haven't read the letters to the shareholders by Jeff Bezos, they're incredible. I just started reading them yesterday. It's incredible to see how far they've come and how focused they are, So, it's Amazon's 100% in control of your products, of everything. You have to be so compliant, and they're always changing rules. And they're gating all these different products and making it super difficult for new sellers to get in, okay? And that brings up another thing, competition, okay? 3-4 years ago, there wasn't nearly as much competition as there is now. With the hype on YouTube and all these people selling Amazon courses and all the same, product research strategies, products become oversaturated so quickly. I remember when I was doing research, I almost bought like 3 or 4 products, and then I checked a month later. Like, I almost committed to shipments, and I checked a month later, and everyone and their mom hopped on that shipment, and everyone was talking about it because they all looked at like the same Jungle Scout, or they all looked at the same viral launch, the same techniques. So if you're gonna do this, you really have to be creative with your research and go. You just got to go down the rabbit hole. You can't just do the Jungle Scout research and just click in Jungle Scout. Oh, this unit sold 40,000. Blah blah blah. You can't trust that shit when people say that. It's like, look at this one product sold for 40,000. Yeah, well, you're not going to do that. If you copy that same product, it's just not going to happen. Okay, so there's a lot more competition with that. And then to be good, there's a big upfront investment. Okay, way more than all the other ones, right? If you want to get a legit product nowadays, an optimized listing that looks great, first you're going to have to buy a course. That's one. You're going to have to buy a course, 100%. One that you trust, someone that you know has won you over. There's a few good ones out there, I think, but, I'm not going to get into that. So big upfront investment of, a course, learning, researching, buying it from the suppliers. You're going to spend at least, the people that say, oh, you only need $1,000. Like, that's, the odds that you find a product that you can get for $1,000 shipped from China that's going to do well on Amazon, and that it's just, I don't see it. I've never heard of anyone that has done it like that. I've heard some people preach it, but I've never heard anyone do it. I've heard, the lowest I've ever heard is like 2,000, 3,000. Okay, I spent like $5,000 on mine, and and I had it shipped by sea. I didn't even have it shipped over, by air, which would have been way more expensive. So there's a huge upfront investment, but it is a great business model. Okay, I don't want to talk shit on Amazon. It is a great business model. All right, now over to Shopify. Okay, hopefully you guys are kind of getting some value from this. Again, if you do, give me a comment. Let me know what business model you guys do. Amazon, Shopify, SMMA, whatever. Okay, so pros of Shopify: low upfront investment, right? So really, the only investments you need up front are what? Oh geez, whoops. You need. Let's see. You need a course, a good course. You need, a Shopify plus plugins, and you need, Facebook ads / influencers. Okay. So it's a low upfront investment, doesn't cost a lot, and this is what attracts a ton of people, probably most people, is because people are really sold, the low upfront cost, the traveling passive lifestyle income, that type of thing, okay? So that is one of the biggest pros. And that leads to another one is, once you start getting stuff rolling, you can make it be, fairly passive. You can outsource customer service to people from the Philippines. You can outsource a lot of this stuff. You don't have to do any of the fulfillment or anything like that with Shopify and all the cool shit that it does. So it's pretty passive once you get it going. But that also, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna go right to the cons. Cons. In my opinion, it is not sustain. How do you spell sustain? I can't fucking type. Sustainable. Fuck. Took me way too long. It is not a sustainable business model, guys. Right? You're shipping shit from China. It's gonna take at least 2-3 weeks to get there. A lot of times it's going to be shitty unless you really trust the supplier and know the supplier. Okay, so it's not sustainable at all. I suppose I should put not. I'm not going to type it again. Not sustainable, okay? Like, it just really isn't at all. Like, you're not really building anything worth of value. Now, if you're doing print on demand, that might be a little bit different because you can get higher quality. But drop shipping from, like, China, I just don't see the business model. If you want to do it, like some of the people are now preaching, build a brand. That's really what you should do. So it's not sustainable. It's, very competitive. So to be good, guys, you're gonna have to really stand out. You're gonna have to have a fucking killer site. You're gonna have to have a killer product, and you're gonna have to be good with Facebook ads. Okay, it's the same thing with Amazon. 3-4 years ago, you might have been able to, get by with an okay website, okay ads, and an okay product. But nowadays, everyone and their mom is starting Shopify dropshipping, so it's super competitive, a lot harder to get into as a new guy, and your site has to be really fucking good. So honestly, there will be more of an upfront cost, because I would recommend getting someone to build a nice Shopify site for you. Having someone help you with Facebook ads and finding products, like that's just what I would do. But I mean, it's very competitive. It's very competitive, and it's not very sustainable in my humble opinion. And if you're into Shopify and you're doing well, and you've been doing well for a couple of years, I might be wrong. But if you're starting this and you're like, oh yeah, but I had $30,000 in sales in 1 month. First off, what was your profit on that? Probably $4,000, maybe. Second off, how many returns did you get? And how many repeat customers are you going to get? My assumption would be pretty low, because the wait time is going to be fucking forever. You're not going to have personalized branding on the product, which people love. People love the branding of a personalized product via the package. They like the experience. And you're just not going to get that with an item shipped from China, okay? And lastly, SMMA, social media marketing agency, okay? Let's start with some pros. So some pros are you only need a few clients, okay? So you only need a few clients to start making like a sustainable income, right, guys? You only need 2, 3, 4 clients paying you $1 to $3,000 a month for you to, be living great, be able to quit that job, to be able to, start actually, building the life that you want. You only need a few, as opposed to, Shopify, where you have to get, 5,000 customers for you to be able to do that profitably. You only need a few clients to really make a difference in your life, okay? And something that a lot of people don't talk about, and I've talked about in a few of my videos, is you learn sales, right? I had no sales background whatsoever 8 months ago. Absolutely nothing. Never sold a fucking thing in my life. And I was scared shitless. Now doing this, when I tried this, it forced me to really put myself out there and really learn sales. Because if I wasn't selling, if I wasn't being authentic and believing in what I was selling, it just wasn't going to work. Like, I wasn't going to make any money. So I really had to focus and learn sales, kind of learn the psychology of sales. And since then, things have gotten a lot easier for me because I learned sales. So even if I quit, stop doing social media marketing, just the sales is a huge benefit, right? Like, I just think it's really good. And it is scalable with proper technique, okay? So what I mean by this is you can totally scale agencies pretty quickly, and that's what I'm in the process of. So how I would recommend doing this is there's a lot of ways you can do it. You can bring teams in-house and train them, but what I'm doing is I'm outsourcing a lot of the work to other marketers. I'm hiring salespeople who are going to work on cold outreach and closing the meetings, and then I'll basically facilitate, be the actual business owner to, the other marketers. So I'll facilitate the sales and facilitate the marketing, but I won't actually be doing any of the actual marketing work or the actual sales work. I'll just be building relationships with my people and bringing in leads, which is what I'm good at. I'm good at bullshitting with people. I'm good at bringing in leads. I'm still okay at sales. It's not my greatest thing, but I've learned a tremendous amount, and I have so much more confidence now in that because of this. Okay, so let's talk about cons. Some business owners suck ass, okay? Some business owners are an absolute pain in the ass to work with, and that's just something you're gonna have to learn. It's something you deal with. Some I'm just like, fuck, dude, I don't want to work with you. It's not worth it. Some are just not worth the money at all, okay? It just really isn't. You're gonna have people, oh, yeah, let me give you $300 a month. And at first, if you've never made $300 a month, you might be stoked on that. But you're just selling yourself way short, because that client's going to be a pain in the ass. They're going to expect a lot. And, quite frankly, it's just not worth it for your time, for what you're going to be doing and your mental energy, when you could go out there, pitch the exact same thing and get a $2,000-$3,000 client. That's something that, and I'm only saying that, guys, because I did the exact same thing. I was taking $500 a month clients, and that exact same service to a different client would be worth easily $2-3 grand. And that's what I'm selling now. Like, I'm not selling anything for under $2 grand a month now, because it's just not worth my time. It's just not worth it. Okay. So some businesses really just suck ass, and some niches are way saturated. I can't type today, guys. Saturated. Okay. So if you know anything about SMMA, everyone talks about going for like gyms, chiropractors, fucking yoga studios, hair salons. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's way oversaturated. You're going to get pissed off because all the chiropractors have been hit up by 1,000 marketers. A lot of them have tried and failed already. So even if they talk to you, they're going to be super skeptical. Expect, a guarantee. Oh, are you going to guarantee me 20 new patients a month? Well, no, I'm not going to guarantee you that, Mr. Fuckface. Pardon my language. As you can see, I've heard that quite a bit. So it's just way oversaturated. I wouldn't recommend it. There's tons of blue oceans. Why fight in a red ocean? Really niche the niche. So some niches are saturated, but that's fine. That's what helps you stand out and choose different niches, because it is a blue ocean and there's tons of ways to get clients. Okay. But let's see, what's another con is, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't get people into, the proper mindset before you start, or if you don't get them to sign a contract, churn rates can be high. Okay. And this is the most stressful thing as a marketer, is, not knowing whether or not you're going to have clients the next month. Okay. And all of that comes down to pre-framing the client, setting expectations correctly, and really, selling your services as more of a long-term thing rather than a get quick. I really can't talk today. Get rich quick scheme. And I'm not going to edit any of this because I'm trying to be raw and real to you guys. That's how I am on my channel. I don't edit all the bullshit. But anyways, the churn rates can be really high with this industry if you don't pre-frame correctly. Okay. So it's super important that you do that. And that's something that I kind of teach as well, is you really want to pre-frame, you really want to set expectations. And if you can't get them to sign a 3, 6, 12-month contract and let you know, like, hey, this is what you can expect. Here's kind of a timeline. I will get you these results. I will help you do this, but I want you to know that this is going to happen. You can expect this to happen. Okay. So, churn rates can be high if expectations aren't set. Okay, so now you guys have heard me spiel. I'm going to go over my the order of these from worst to best, okay? So if you guys couldn't tell, my least favorite is Shopify. Like, hands down, I think it's a shitty business model. I've tried it. I don't like the idea of shipping things from China, in a package. And I feel like it's a disservice to my customers. They're when they could hop on Amazon and get the same product, probably better quality, because it was, actually it was manufactured in China, but it was actually, private labeled and made differently and better because of the competitive nature on Amazon. So I just don't like the business model, guys. If you're going to do Shopify, build a brand, build a real brand, build trust with your suppliers, really find suppliers that can, deliver quality products. And if you really, really want to grow your Shopify business, start bringing that shit into a warehouse in the US and fill it from the US or, Europe or wherever you're from, and don't drop ship it. Have a real fulfillment, real e-commerce business in-house. That is the way you're going to make this sustainable. Otherwise, it's a get rich quick. And that's what a lot of the people on Shopify are screaming, get rich quick. That's just kind of how it is. And, more power to them. They're doing a great job selling it. But I just don't believe in this business model as far as drop shipping, unless you're drop shipping from like the US, quality products. I just think a lot of people aren't doing that, and it puts a bad name to it. Amazon, this is my second. Okay, so as I said, this was my product right here. And, the reason why this is number 2, and I was super hyped on this, 6-8 months ago. But the reason why I kind of stopped is because around Christmas time, when I had my product going, Amazon shut it down because people weren't receiving my emails, which had my ebook in it, okay? And I wasn't aware of that. So they shut my listing down in Christmas. And, that's literally the worst time of year to get your product shut down. I was selling, 20, 30 units a day, and then it went down. I lost my ranking completely, couldn't get it back up. And, I've trickled 1 to 2 a day since. And, that's a lot of people are like, oh yeah, well, that's just one product. You don't give up. And that's why this is number 2. I still think it's a great business model. Just for me, I didn't like the aspect of waiting for China, a month of shipping, dealing with, Chinese suppliers, finding a product that's oversaturated. I just didn't really like it as a sustainable business model, because this is something that you also want to build a brand if you want to be successful. Okay, it's really important you build a brand, but it is a great business model. It just wasn't for me. It's just not what I wanted to do. But between Shopify and Amazon, I would take Amazon all day. And if you really built a brand, move from Amazon to Shopify, and then build your brand on Shopify. Okay, but really, Amazon FBA is a great business model. And then my favorite, what I'm currently doing, what I teach, is SMMA. Obviously, I'm biased, but this is what I stuck with after trying all the business models. And, the reasons why I chose this are kind of like, what I'm saying in this video, right? Like, I only need a few clients to really be sustainable. I have tons of plans to really grow and scale this thing while I travel, right? Like, I'm going to Europe in mid-July. The recording of this video is, what's today? Today's June 22nd, okay? So, yeah, I'm going in less than a month. So I'm building systems to outsource and scale this thing while I make money overseas. And that's really how I want to build this business. I don't want to build a really big in-house team. I want to build relationships, with other marketers and people who are really good at sales, and, facilitate, just kind of take a piece of the pie, honestly, and just be an actual business owner. And I really like that. And I've chosen a couple of niches now that work well for me. I've done tons of niches. I know how to do tons of niches. So, and I do videos on this if you want to check them out. But I love this business model compared to the other ones. It's sustainable. It's a real business that helps other businesses. It's not just products. It's really helping these businesses get more customers, and it's a super valuable skill, like I said, because I'm learning how to sell. I'm learning how to market, right? So I can market myself. I'll be able to run my own YouTube ads to grow my own brand, run my own Facebook ads to grow my own brand, because I'm learning that through social media marketing for other businesses. Does that make sense? So it's just it's a business model that I probably won't do forever. I'm not going to have a marketing agency for the next 20 years. I don't see it. With the internet changing, it's just not how I'm going to do it. But for now, it's a fantastic business model to start. And for those of you that think it might be saturated, it's not at all. Not at all. Just because I can't remember the term, but when you're around something so much, when you're around Amazon FBA so much, when you're around Shopify so much, you see all these people doing it. But it's a very, very small group compared to the whole world, right? It's just because that's where all your attention is and all the people around you are focused on that. So you start to begin to think that it's saturated. I can't remember the psychological term for it. But guys, there's still tons of room for this. There's tons of industries that haven't even been touched, right? I mean, there are some industries that are way overtapped, like chiropractors, and I do go after real estate, but that's because I have some good stuff in place. But real estate can be very saturated, and dentists and stuff like that, gyms. But I mean, there's so many other niches that you guys can go over, and again, that's something that I teach, and it's something that I'm super passionate about, because I think it's a legitimate business model that helps people grow as people and their businesses, so that they can really live the lives that they want. Okay, so that's just my 2 cents, guys. Hopefully you made it all the way through the video. Like I said, I'm gonna keep it raw and uncut, because that's what I like to do. I like to be real, and I don't like to edit. I hate editing, and I don't really want to outsource this stuff, because I just want it to be us. So yeah, hopefully you guys got some value from this. Let me know whether you're into FBA, Shopify, SMMA, and if you're into Shopify and you want to rebuttal any of the things I say, leave it in the comments, and I'd love to hear it. If you want to tell me to kick rocks, do that. I don't care. If you're into SMMA, leave that down below. Amazon FBA, all that stuff. But yeah, hopefully you guys got some value from this. Again, my name's Keenan, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And until next time, out.
What the fuck was I saying? Yeah, I'm kind of a slave to my ambition. I ain't quitting till my shit is appraised, and I admit it, I predicted where I finish is crazy.